You know, I've been getting a lot of questions lately on Twitter, and I kind of like that because, you know, whenever I'm bored, I do check on Twitter, and I do reply to most messages, but then sometimes I feel like, should this be made to a video? Because it's a really good question. Shout out to Steven, who sent me this on Twitter. He said, do you think we will see the CW Flash in the Flash movie? We've talked about this a lot, but we do have a lot of new subscribers and new followers, so I have to, like, you know, keep you guys updated what I think about, you know, the whole multiverse between the TV and movie and, you know, the comics and all that. Is it possible? I'm gonna tell you straight up, yes. Not just because of what I think, just because of what Jeff Johns said years ago. He basically said that, you know, as of right now, that's not what our main focus is, but it is possible that it could happen one day. And knowing Jeff Johns and DC with their whole multiverse and, you know, DC Rebirth, and then with the Flashpoint, Infinite Crisis, Crisis on Infinite Earth, it's possible, guys. You got to think about that. Like, they have the tools. They have all the rights to all the characters. You're going to sit there and tell me that it's not possible? Yes. So the main question is, like, how can they do it? More likely, it's going to have to do with Ezra Miller's Flash and Grant Gustin's Flash. Like, they are the connections to the multiverse. But if you're going to go for a different route, you can always bring the New Gods in. You can bring the Anti-Monitor, who can be the main villain for both universes, from the TV and movieverse. But it is going to be kind of complicated because, you know, on the DC TV universe, which is Grant's universe, they took the establish of already saying that that is Earth 1. They can always fix that, or they could just give, you know, Grant's Flash the Earth 1, and then, you know, Earth 3 or Earth 4 or Earth 0 can be, you know, the movieverse. It doesn't matter what number it is, because, you know, in the comic, pretty sure it's going to be different from the comic of what numbers of what universe is from to the movies and TV. You already have Grant's Flash visiting different universes to himself, like different versions of Flash. Spoiler alert, if you have not watched The Flash, I'm going to start talking about spoilers, so you have been warned. So you've seen the last episode from last season where he brings his other self, and his other self sacrifices himself. But one thing they need to understand is that if they're going to make this happen, you cannot make one of them the main one, because you're going to have a really pissed off fan base between either one. If you make Grant's Flash the number one, people are going to be like, oh, that's messed up. You know, Ezra Miller is part of the movieverse. Movies come first. If you do Ezra Miller's Flash, you guarantee you're going to have a bunch of fanboys and fangirls defending Grant that he should have been the, you know, the main one. It is possible, guys. Like, I don't want to say that it's not, because, you know, Jeff Johns is the head president now, so I'm pretty sure he has an idea of what they're going to do for this DC Extended Universe now that he's, like, you know, in charge. I've heard from different interviews and read different articles that Jeff Johns planned this out. Like, he pretty much made a spreadsheet of how things are going to connect and how the universe is all going to make sense. And I'm really excited to see how he does that. And who doesn't want to see Ezra Miller's Flash meet Grant's Flash? Like, you know, Ezra Miller's already talked about that multiple times, and also Grant has been very vague about it. I don't know why. He's just kind of like vague about it. I think he's still upset that they didn't choose him, because I think that was like rumored to happen, like when they were casting actors for the Flash, that it could have happened, but it would have made sense. You just don't jump to, like, you know, TV star and then move him to movie, because, like, that's just a big step. But, you know, Ezra Miller is really excited about it. He's talked about this multiple times. I think last week he was just talking about how, you know, he's excited that, you know, Grant's the Flash, he's the Flash. One day they're gonna cross, you know, each other in the Speed Force, and they're gonna have a great time. But for sure, guys, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. We're in the year 2016, so if you're watching this in the future, you're probably laughing because it probably did happen or it didn't happen. But not anytime soon. Maybe Justice League 2, they can make a reference, but you have to establish the Justice League movie first, and, like, you know, their characters until they jump into the TV verse, you know, with Grant's Flash and all that, because they're doing their own thing. They're doing their own Justice League Society and all these other stuff. I don't even know what they're doing, but they're doing a lot of stuff. They have Firestorm, Arrow, Atom. They're building their own Justice League on TV. So that's why I'm kind of saying it could happen, but as of right now, I don't think that's their main focus, because they do want to establish the TV characters and the movie characters separate, to make sure everybody understands that it's different universes, and they don't want to confuse audience right off the bat. Like, oh, like, what the hell? Like, okay, there's a Flash on TV show, but there's a Flash on the movie. Like, I'm confused. And then you have to explain to them that it's multiverse, and they're like, what's that? So that's why you got to take this with very baby steps, because the non-comic book reader is gonna freak out. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, like, just tell them it's from a different Earth. That's it. I don't know how hard that is to explain to different people. I say that all the time. They're like, oh, I don't get it. I'm like, it's a different Earth. In a different Earth, there's a different version of you. Oh, okay. That's just how I always explain it, and everybody gets a light bulb. Again, we've talked about this a lot. My answer is always going to be, it's a possible. It's a big possible. It could happen, but I want them to establish characters from the movies first. Then they can start talking about crossing multiverses and all that. Like I said, Justice League 2 could be a big possibility. They could do that, or maybe the next Justice League Part 3 if they ever do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want more DC extended topics and stuff, give this video a thumbs up. My question for you guys, do you want this to happen, yes or no? If so, tell me why. If not, give me your reasons why not. My name is JaeRoar, and I am the best at what I do, and that's giving you that 1-2 punch.